afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Sight, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on Bryansk Forest. Between the west, we got word bearers Borgore, finding here for the Oberkommando West for the 1 and 6th Panzer Grenadier. Oh, not Panzer Brigade, actually, Feldherrnhalle. Versus in the east, we got Luciano, fighting for America, freedom, and democracy. Taking on the role here of the 1st Armored Division, we got here Feuersturm, Luftwaffe, and Spec Ops versus Heavy Cavalry, Tactical Support, and a Rifle Company, with anti-tank gun infantry versus anti-tank gun re-echelon, and more anti-tank gun bulletins there. So we got a double echelon with the rifle following up there for Luciano, with the Kugelwagen Fultz going to start here for Borgore. Also, a fun fact about 1 and 6th Panzer Brigade, while we had it, it was actually one of the few Panzer Brigades to actually make it to the end of the war without either being disbanded or formed into a full sort of division, which a very sort of few set of the Panzer Brigades actually did because they performed well. The 107th, for example, for good performance during Operation Market Garden, was actually upgraded to a full Panzer, I think, Grenadier Division, actually. I think it was the 16th. But others were basically disbanded because the performance weren't that good, or they just frittered away, and so just served as replacements for other units. So we've got Fultz out here for Borgore. We got more rifle on the way there for Luciano, heading north-south, as we can see Luciano's going north, south, and centre. So he's going up pretty aggressively, which with the reactions is a bit risky. I mean, he can have to grab a lot more territory, but obviously in any case, we'll run into some more severe resistance. I mean, he's going to have to fall back because he's not going to have the best of times. Up north, we got a tank going there. There we go, surprised by the Kugelwagen. Schnell, Otto! Armies, fire frei! Yeah, I can hear you. I'm like right in front of you, you idiot. Behind you, whatever. Oh, they're doing insane damage. There's some insane RNG there, and for some reason, right here, Borgore trying to flank, only moves to closer, which decreases any kind of protection of the Kugelwagen. That was really poorly handled there by Borgore. Of course, a bit of bad RNG, but it didn't exactly make it better by trying to get it close there. I mean, in this case, that's the situation where you break off. You just go, all right, I'm not going to win this. I'm just going to break off and not waste a Kugelwagen. Yet Borgore clearly saw it elsewise. We've got him south jump pioneers, rifleman there. Already got some good shots in the rifle. Will probably lose this engagement to the jump pioneers. While up here, the Fultz Grenadiers likely going to lose that to the rifleman on the other hand. So a few engagements in so far. Borgore is losing about 2 out of 3 engagements. That is not encouraging a start there. That is not an encouraging start there for Borgore and the 1 and 6th Panzer Brigade Feldherrnhalle, which of course had also the Panzer Grenadier Division Feldherrnhalle, so there was a sister unit. They never fought together, by the way. They basically fought on separate fronts. The Feldherrnhalle Panzer Brigade always fought on the western front, whereas the Panzer Grenadier Division, later Panzer Corps Feldherrnhalle, fought on the eastern front. But they sort of had the same origins. That is the Sturmabteilung or SA, the predecessor of the SS. Sort of some of the old veterans were scraped together and sort of, given their own units in a sense. Got more folks moving up here. Yes, and up north they're firing there from the victory point. But now they're rather outgunned. I mean, they might feel confident having taken a Kugelwagen, but these are not Kugelwagens. They're Fultz Grenadiers. In the south here, the Sturm Pioneers are overwhelmed by sheer American firepower, reactions, and riflemen. There we go. Forced to retreat, the Sturm Pioneers rapidly fall back. Up north, the echelons versus Fultz Grenadiers being pushed back very solidly. And we got riflemen there advancing as well. Getting a bit more risky though. Again, you should be aware there's a lot of Fultz. In this case, there's tank traps that can neutralize against him. In this case, actually bait them towards it. For right here, for some reason, Borgore, there we go, realizes he's actually... No! He's actually committing to the mistake. Instead of just sticking to the heavy cover, which again, has presumed... Oh, well, there's barbed wire now, man, but here it is. But, should have tried to bait it into it, set up a better position, use the Fultz Grenadiers together. Instead, it sort of splits them up and only makes it easier for the riflemen to win an engagement. So, tactically, not so bloody clever. In this case, though, using the Kugelwagen. Here we got the Belgrove headquarters almost done for Borgore, so that'll be some healing. Maybe some machine guns, early on, assault rifles, or, maybe a flak half-track. More tank traps here. Luciano making good use of them. Of course, now with the rifle company, he doesn't need them. He can just lay down sandbags for the riflemen, which are a lot easier to hide behind. Point up, they're being secured. Rifleman reactions, they're advancing. Also nice to see a lot of finished barbed wire for once, not just this cheesing up here. Folks going to do this. They're fighting. Of course, going to lay down some sandbags to further support here and make it a bit hard for the opponent to utilize it. In this case, he's going to have to retreat. Again, he should have tried baiting the rifle into an engagement quarter one. Instead, now he's basically allowed Luciano to, gain time and just attack with a larger force, or meaning he is being just overwhelmed. He has to retreat. There's no way that Borgore can win this at this stage. He's just too few numbers, and again, Luciano, he has tactical superiority. He could be using it better, obviously, but he's got tactical superiority. In this case, he's got such overwhelming tactical superiority, he doesn't care. In the south here, we got jump pass against the riflemen. Sandbags up there, good job there by Luciano. Folks going to do this. Should move support here. In this case, he's struggling a bit to keep it all moving together and coherently. But there you go, he gets a wipe on Luciano, more than making up for the Kugelwagen and the other sort of minor tactical losses he suffered here. Here's some up close to the folks going into the assault rifles. Two pioneers joining in. A small chance of a wipe here. In this case, the rear echelons were retreated in time for Luciano's men to make it out of there, mostly. And he also got early ranges out here for Luciano. Most players will usually wait a long time before calling in ranges, but Luciano, clearly not like the other American players, and immediately caught in the ranges as soon as he can to lead the way, with a lot of Thompson submachine guns. But we can see a Borgore continuing in the south. He's actually going for the flak half-track there. Panzer brigades, by the way, would have had a lot of flak half-track to support them. And part of it would think they would use as infantry support, though of course note, they would not have been that type, which again was very much sort of a Luftwaffe variant, field modification. Whereas the one they were used would have been the flak drilling, which, as the sort of some of you might be able to tell out, is basically sort of triple mounted machine anti-aircraft guns sort of mounted on it. Specifically, it was actually made out of aircraft machine guns that were sort of spare up after they upgraded the guns on some of them from I think like 50 and 20 millimeters to 30. And so they had a lot of spare ones, and they basically turned them into anti-aircraft guns, which also turned out to be pretty good versus infantry. So sort of a triple mount of those that sort of be utilised in flak half tracks. Trucks were also mounted on them. Some were mounted sort of more steady wheeled versions, for ground usage. I think they sort of put them together from what they had in one place there in Western Germany. I think in the Ruhr district there were some sort of like machine guns like that. And there was also some modifications on tanks, like for example there's a T-34 somewhere that was actually sort of had a flak drilling sort of mounted in a, well, improvised tower. So a few fun stacks there. We got the flak half-track though here for Borgore. I really wish they'd gone for the flak drilling. So much cooler and would have looked, a bit more interesting, and again, would have been, a bit more historically accurate. At least, not historically accurate, but organisationally accurate. Again, most people just tend to think only in history, and that's again a very sort of narrow definition, and they very much tend to just ignore, for example, organisation. Like, it's one of those unsung facts of realisation that, things weren't quite organised the way people actually imagined it were. There's also a lot of people who just seem to think logistics is magic. It's important, but it's not magic. Again, things don't just, happen in an instant. For example, a lot of the Russians, for example, in the early stages of the World War, doing Operation Barbarossa, for example, suffered from huge logistical issues, which actually doesn't get mentioned a lot, and they're only just written about recently. But there are huge issues with logistics, which actually only undermine further the defences there by the borders up towards Germany. Fun fact. We've got jump pioneers rushing at the reactions, wiping them out there. Another wipe here. Luciano is quickly bleeding out here in the face of Borgore and the 160th Panzer Brigade. We've got a Stuart light tank on the way there for Luciano, though. That should definitely help. Sturm pioneers, Volksgrenadiers advancing with Sturmgewehrs. Fire in their hearts. Hatred of the armies. Up north, though, less hatred, just securing territory. Flak half-track carrying the swamp. They might want to get that cleaned up afterwards. I don't imagine muck does a great deal of good for a half-track. Sturm pioneers, they're grabbing the munitions point. Because they need a bit of support. Got Rifleman coming to flank it, bringing the Sturm pioneers from immediately flanking the Rangers. And even then, he's set up in this way. Actually, that makes it only easier. The foot's going to murder them. On the other hand, it covers them versus the Sturm pioneers. That's a bit weird. Up north, though, Stuart in a bad situation, actually. He's getting some little hits in on the flat half-track, but Kednov, on the other hand, are landing some absolute excellent hits on that one. And there we go, kaput. That was a complete waste there for Luciano. Remember, it's a light tank, not a heavy tank. And of course, some players can get a bit, eager. Of course, now with the Stuart nerfed, it's even more so an actual light tank, not, the murder tank Mark III, death to all Krauts and Nazis, which clearly is what sort of Luciano has forgotten, which again what it was previously. And again, it was why it got nerfed alongside with the T-70 and the AC. They were way too good at just annihilating German infantry, which rather allowed them to just swing the game very hard once they arrived. Now they require a bit more usage, and thusly they aren't so, just throw them in and just, murder the Germans. Probably also a bit the flak half attack also has increased penetration, which might allow to get a few damage bits in there on the Stuart, allowing like Ken have a bit of an easier job further versus Luciano's Stuart light tank. But either way, that thing is burned up and quickly salvaged for spare parts, most likely though food. Also fuel. Captain Rifle advancing, going from the northern munitions. Overall, Borgore in a reasonably good condition there in position. You go here for doctrine. Luftwaffe, some Fahrzeugmakers now could be pretty handy with Valiant assault to back him up. Firestorm, I don't think there'd be so much usage for him. I mean, his opponent hasn't dug in a lot. You go though for recall losses, and the flame for half tank and fury, or flame for heads there could be theoretically useful. Of course, good for spec ops, though he can't use so much of it now. Though, of course, if he takes up Oberstland with infert Sturmgewehrs, and of course the Command Panther could be very viable options there for Borgore. Rifling with the Sturmpioneers again. A lot of tank traps, not so much barbed wire there. But also, just note, one trick for particularly around points is you place it as close to the point as possible so the opponent can't utilize it, the point itself. I mean, that's what some trick can do there with sandbags. You can notice here that Borgore has done. You just place it right up to the point itself. That way, your opponent can't really make much use of it. All right. Support group up north, infantry moving towards the centre, and a big infantry push there from Borgore towards the south. Noting here that Luciano, I think, has not laid down a single mine, which is a bit of a shame since he has gone for, heavy cavalry and, rifleman defensive structures are very much a part of it. He's going for the lieutenant now, so back tech there for Luciano. Not seeing him attempt to further taking up a replacement steward. Pack howitzer could also perhaps be an idea here for Luciano versus Borgore. Certainly, I think a few options missed out there, while Borgore is just seizing as much as he can for the fatherland. He could, of course, consider mines himself, and should, and in fact, there we go. But he might want to place it around closer to the tank traps, or perhaps here. Captain deflected there by the Volksgrenadiers. No sandbags were laid down for them, and neither here or here. I mean, there's a bit of missed opportunity, and comparatively, again, we can see Luciano much better at actually putting down cover and preparing the battlefield ahead, whereas Borgore less sharp in that department, clearly. Seizing points here. Centre victory point was secured there by a few stout GIs, and we can see here that Luciano is really intent on going back the southern point. We got the captain, the rearsense, the rifleman, and the lieutenant sort of acting as the rear guard here. Folks are there under fire. Big raw push here, no real cover, no finesse, he's just swinging in there like a Chicago steam hammer, whatever that is. Going after the Volksgrenadiers, pushing away, and Borgore has already abandoned it, so he can quickly flood it, but there's not really much damage he's doing. In the meanwhile, centre is quickly collapsing here under the weight of Borgore's infantry assault. So Jürgen, the other day, yeah, enough about the other day. Focus on today. We got Americans ahead of us. And only so much ammunition. No tech up there, Borgore flooding resources. He needs to be careful about that, in particular when he could be taking hit quite easily by now. Had Orbital done that, or just prepare for a Panther or a Panzer IV, whatever he wants. And meanwhile, Luciano going there for the 50 cal machine gun, MD34 up, sandbags up to prepare position. So Borgore finally laying down some more sandbags of his own. Jolly good work there. Still though needs to tech up. Come on, Borgore, stop flooding resources. But there you go, the Mardus up for Luciano. I don't think he's laying down any mines. Still, there's a bit too many there to check out the fuel point. Mines there would be good, mines here would be good, mines there could be good. A lot of mines really could be good for them. Borgore finally taking up there, definitely too slow in that, definitely too slow. I think that could give Luciano more time to actually, get more aggressively into the game. What I think, though, Luciano should do in this case is actually attack from here and then sort of hit the 2 points that is cutting off Borgore from the rear, and also cut off the retreat path, then attack into the rear lines. I think that could overall catch Borgore in a bad situation. In this case, it catches the Volksgrenadier squad and utterly annihilates them with the Times machine guns. And the rifleman here, 50 caliber, had no impact there really. So there you go. Again, flank flank. And I know this is a shorter path, and again I had players say, you know, well, you know, it's a shorter path, I don't want to go the long way, but you know, you also probably don't want your men to die pointlessly. In this case, he'd gone through here, taking a bit of a stealth path. He could have surprised the machine gun. Obviously, he didn't know it was there, but it never hurts to, you know, assume your opponent might, you know, want to protect vital paths and assume you like to walk in straight lines. And those, you know, called mind games. They do, of course, require, you know, thinking a bit through. But there you go, troops being suppressed. Got the flak half tail supporting. But now, it's kind of getting a bit too late here. In this case, it needs grenades from besides the ring if you'd like to pull through. So there you go. Assault didn't really pull through there for Luciano, and then even he popped smoke. It was too late, and in this case, again, could just as well have been served better by proper flank. And meanwhile, though, Borgore striking through the south here with the full Scandinavians advancing quickly.
We're losing a capture point.
Back here, healing reinforcement. Nothing further for Luciano. Still somewhat decent split up there. I mean, he's got a big victory point lead over Borgore, so it's not all bad for Luciano. But again, to an extent, he has failed in some ways. And again, he's rather been relying a lot here on brute force versus Borgore. And Borgore has, I think, done quite a good job then actually deflecting it. With some good pushes here and there, but also just setting up the machine gun in the right place. And of course, the flat calf tag is doing a bit there, though. He's got the Schwer Panzer Corps now covering the north. He could easily afford to have the flak half track support his troops. They're going to tank gun out for Luciano. He's probably beginning to expect armor from Borgore, who's actually getting pretty close to it. He could go for the Command Panther, he could go for regular Panther. He could even go for the Panther one. It wouldn't be a bad choice at the moment, but we shall have to see. I mean, he's actually had a pretty good control of the fuel, so I mean, easily any armor here besides the Jagdpanzer would be pretty good. I mean, the only reason the Jagdpanzer would be bad is because Luciano doesn't have any tanks. So, I mean, the Jagdpanzer would just be a waste of resources. But we got the Obersoldaten out there for Borgore. And he can then equip with the infantry jumpers, which will definitely have an impact there on Luciano's again, pushing through. Rangers, they go doing good work there against the Volkswagen, kind of quickly sending a grenade. Doesn't try to push forward to do more damage, instead pulls back. Volkswagen in the south, in this case, would also then gotten off to the retreat path of the Volkswagen there and wipe them. So, I mean, in this case, falling back, on some ways making sense, was not the most tactically optimal choice here. 50 caliber holding the Volkswagen it is here. Borgore and the 106th Panzer Brigade suffering some losses. Up north, the Eastern's Captain anti-tank moving in, but with no real infantry support, mostly anti-tank. While he might be able to get the flak half track, the Obersoldaten will quickly make short work of the rest. And I'm not entirely sure that's going to be entirely worth it, specifically losing the anti-tank gun. That's a pretty bad one there for Borgore. We got a bomb grenade off, but the captain doesn't care. The captain quickly moves past Schwer Panzer Quarters to suppress the captain because Schwer Panzer Quarters doesn't care about rank. And there you go, mine wipes the captain. All of a sudden, this assault becomes increasingly more expensive for Luciano, as he loses not just the anti-tank gun, but the captain just to get a flak half track. He also got a few Obersoldaten, but those can be replaced. The captain cannot be so cheaply replaced. And the anti-tank gun could of course risk being turned against him, so that was not a very good engagement here. And once more, hits a mine, and then retreats the entire unit. I think that was a misclick though. I'm assuming this was a misclick. Pretty bad stuff there, but he would actually look like he's going to try and move through here, but good move there by Borgore. Though part of me would actually probably consider mining more up here. I mean, there's nothing wrong in them advancing into the machine gun, whereas flanking the machine gun would actually be pretty bad for Borgore, so that could probably been, you know, set up a bit better spot there. But there you go, we got a one remaining rifle squad moving in. He's going to try and flank. In this case, not also he's trying to do, he's actually trying to stay out the path of the point, thusly not trying to alert Borgore. That's a good move, by the way, as well. These things can also just serve as tripwires for flanks. In this case, though, again, he kind of gave it away, and still he gets surprised. And this time, there's no flak after support it. On the other hand, Borgore is going for a Panther. Then it's another mine. So he's sort of coming the flank, and there you go. Big Fult's going to do force moving in there. 15 man. Strong. And we got the Panther out here. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Model A. With its exhaust pipes and those two smaller pipes, and each one next to the left one there. Apparently radiation sort of tubes, those cooling vents. Stuff like that. Another push towards the north. Anti-tank gun has been made off with. No, salvage actually, and he's going to attack straight. He knows this is Schwer Panzer Quarters. I'm not entirely sure what he's intending to do with it, or apparently he's got a terrible short-term memory and forgot about it, which is not encouraging. 5th Cub covering the south. I mean, this is the sort of stuff you want fighting positions to do. But there you go. Panther taking a lot of bazooka fire there. Most of the shots, though, not penetrating. But still, bazookas do some deflection damage, meaning even if they don't penetrate, it can sort of still add up. If you do enough of it. As you might notice there, it's sort of, you know, doing a bit of damage there. So firing off bazookas on it, you can still actually chip away at the health of a Panther. Personally, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of deflection damage, particularly when it's added to the guard's rifle and the Piets, which can do also high rate of fire. I do feel like that one could backfire a bit, but there you go. Attack through here, and then a flanking force, much better. In this case, MG4 full that in that position. Panther rolling hit, they're pushing back the reaction, supported by the Stion Pioneers. And there, Goldman's got the MG34, Lieutenant William got Orbison covering with their infrared Sturmgewehrs. And there we go, almost got the MG34, could get a wipe, they could get a wipe, maybe steal it, and there we go. He should probably lay down the smoke screen around it to cover it up. He said he's going to go for the rifleman. Still, he could make it, but the Orbison will be able to get a lot of damage off it before it's possible. Again, this is where he should lay down the smoke screen. I would say that would be worth it, but in this case, it pays off. It was really close though for him, and there's, in fact, every chance he loses it here. So again, remember, smoke is your friend. Smoke is your friend. Even just taking weapons from your opponent, smoke is your friend. So right here, Luciano suffering some hits there from Borgore. Troop ceiling reinforcing here. He is taken out for some armor. Jackson here would not be a bad choice versus the Panther. Sherm could also help versus the infantry. Major there, though, needs to get out of there before he gets a major surprise, which is the inflict Sturmgewehrs. To an extent, ignore some of the cover bonuses. They don't do a huge deal, but enough to sort of make a difference. And mine goes off there, almost wiping out the Major. So we got the Orbison advancing there with the Vampire inflict Sturmgewehrs. And to tank team in against the Panther again. Gonna try and get head on. More deflecting shots there. Pretty suppressed here by the MG34, which he was quick to through there. Some of them active penetrating this time around, now taking the Panther down to half health. Let's go there for Borgore. Major reinforcing. You can see that Luciano's taking an awful lot of losses. Again, he's not engaging sort of tactically sound versus Borgore, which is certainly increasing Borgore's overall sort of gains. There you go, another big push for here. Luciano needs to be more better at spreading out his men tactically at times. Again, he's in this case presenting himself as a nice fat target for machine guns. In this case, also good mining there by Borgore. Very good mine there, mining up the enemy cover. Not a lot of players do this, but it is an obvious place to, by the way, mine. If your opponent lays down cover, mine it. Quick incendiary grenade here. Suffering damage there, but it's also getting off some damage there on the Fultz Grenadiers. Almost getting up there. Range is close to actually free. Cutting off the south there for Luciano. Good work by Borgore. I think Luciano, he's good as to go for a tank here, but at this point it's starting to look like he's just going to try and aim for the person, some sort of, you know, heavy tank savior. Panther quickly rolling back halfway to its into one. Ranger dealing with the Fultz Grenadiers. Fultz actually moving close to the range, a bit more risky than particularly to get ever close to the car, but there you go, incendiary grenade. There you go, veterans you free. Pretty close there though. Stion Pioneer close to veterans you free as well. MG34 back in his usual position. Bazooka fire there against that, not against the Panther. He's where there's a machine gun covering it, which means he's actually going to just stand there. Oh dear, poor Luciano. If he were to pop some air reconnaissance, you could probably find out, but he doesn't have the resources for it. In the south, the Rangers barely winning engagement versus the Fultz Grenadiers. They were really low on health, yet they still pulled through. And now they can heal themselves, actually meaning they'll be pretty much combat effective again in a matter of moments. As long as they get engaged again, in which case they do right here. In this case, there's a 5th Cub supporting them, so that should not be a problem. The Fultz Grenadiers quickly halted and pushed back. I hear Panther charging the bazookas. Bad idea, by the way. Remember, penetration increases as you get closer, so he's only making his Panther worse off against the reactions. In this case, he got lucky thanks to the reaction Pioneers, which were ignored because of the Panther, but that could easily have gone poorly there for Borgore. That could easily have been a burning Panther. So that's really something to keep in mind. If you could actually soon go for a second Panther, you could try and go for a Command Panther, you could go for a Panzer IV, you could try and, you know, aim for a King Tiger next. But there you go, Rangers self-healing. Several of the Orbital Command West units, by the way, have self-healing, including the Fultz Grenadiers. But for a lot of the other armies, there's less of it, actually. But the Orbital Command West has several units capable of it. The Orbitals are not also capable of, in fact. In fact, the only ones that aren't are the Sturm Pioneers, I think. I think the Sturm Pioneers. Actually, the Jaegers have medic kits, and I think the Fightmates can also do it. So it's pretty much on the Sturm Pioneers. Which also, by the way, as a sort of funny side note, that basically means to an extent the medic upgrade here becomes useless after a certain point, unless you go for a lot of Sturm Pioneers. Rather than suppressed it, Luciano keeps forgetting about that MG34, but in this case we can see Luciano is completely shifting strategic tracks. He's realising here he needs some way to try and get ahead here, so rather than just, you know, floundering about there, he's now going to try and go for several fuel caches, and that way just rush ahead with an armour, trying to realise again he's behind there, so he's going to just push for, you know, a fuel advantage this way. He's parity with the double fuel caches. That's definitely pretty rare to see and could wake up. There we go, Fult's got his squad wiped. MG34 sitting up here. Oh, he got caught on the wire. Oh, no. Borgore didn't pay attention. Luciano's little wire trap worked off beautifully. Took his ages, but he finally gets the MG34 again. We got the Panthers moving ahead. Their wire destroyed, but he can't see, so he needs anti-tank weapons here. But they aren't there. We got the Rearsons bring up the bazookas, though. We could also consider adding a bazooka to the Rangers pile, but there you go. Bazooka fire down the Panther. Lewis gets blown to bits there by an armor piercing round to the chest. Machine guns blasting away there. Remember, the Panthers of the Oberkommando in particular have good machine guns, which can actually go through a lot of infantry very quickly if you're not careful. But the tank hunt here continues. So there's no cover. So again, they are exposed targets to the Panthers, and that's something to keep in mind here. There's quickly actually being stormed through by the double Panthers and machine guns, as you notice. Actually doing a lot of damage very quickly, which most people tend to forget. A lot of tank machine guns can do a lot of damage to infantry. Incendiary grenade here going off. 50 car pushed back, but Luciano is getting close to the Pershing. Again, he's got the 2 fuel caches, which means again he's not going to fall too far behind now. Though, of course, Borgore is still going to get a lot of fuel because he's more consistently able to control a lot more of the map. But there you go, Pershing out for Luciano. And the 1st Armoured Division.
We're losing a capture point.
4 kills there. Kedma's remaining up north. We got more orbital Darden for Borgore, and the Feldherrn Halle Panzer Grenadier Division, while the Panther is in need of repairs, that is also very close to Veteran G1.
Send your orders.
Pershing blitzing ahead here. Unsupported. Risky, he doesn't know if there's opponents to lay down mines. In this case, of course, Borgore hasn't, but if he had, that could easily have been a bad position there, where the Command Panther that could, you know, assault the Pershing and quickly knocked it out. But here, healing reinforcement. You could consider a mortar fire just to help the smoke screens against the machine gun and the likes. In this case, we could try and steal it, turn against Borgore. That would not be a bad idea. Orbital Darden, by the way, here can consider booby traps. A lot of people tend to forget their Orbital Darden and have access to those. And they are pretty good. McKellen moving towards the centre. He's seen the Pershing, so he's pretty much preparing now for engagement. Versus it, though, again, with 2 Panthers, he's not exactly going to be, you know, poorly equipped to take on a Pershing. In fact, he's very well equipped, particularly considering one of them is a Command Panther with the coordinated fire ability. But a push into the south here. We got rifles sticking up here closer to the enemy centre. Victory points while still Borgore has been sort of able to, you know, align to the situation a bit better, so they're close to each other. In fact, now Borgore has a lead over Luciano. You should quickly follow up though with some armor to support the Pershing. I would suggest actually the tank destroyer first to help deal with all the Panthers. The Jackson is more suited for that under the right conditions. Though of course the Sherman can help better versus infantry. Mines down to probably try and help with the Pershing or Panthers. Good move there. Though it is rather late, I think, it's begun mining down there compared to Borgore. Again, who's been overall just doing a much better job mining up against Luciano. Need to get the mines where though. Get away from the mine. Don't set it off through them. Reveal it. Oh dear, oh dear. Ah! Baited into the mine by accident, but there you go. Command Panther for damage. Engine pressure could find it. HVAP. HVAP. Use the HVAP. Luciano, the HVAP round. The H what? Is that a swear word? God damn it, Lewis, just fire the bloody thing. There you go, doing a lot of damage. Failure to get the Command Panther still. Other Panther could go down here. He's going in, he's risking it all, taking a lot of damage over the bazookas. There you go. Panther down, a huge loss there. Complete cock up there by Borgore. Others doing well there, but suffered huge loss there, knocking out the Panther, though This infantry is breaking through. The Command Panther in this case escapes. How do you use 8 frag rounds? I think he could have gotten the Command Panther as well, in which case that would have been a massive loss there for Borgore. But again, a lot of American players just aren't very good at using their abilities. Again, combined arms, excellent stuff. HVAC, excellent stuff. So many American players again just never used it because they didn't get away with it. So that regard, the period here after the patch is going to be, I think, for the American players, a lot of just learning to use the things given to them. There go, all of a sudden being overwhelmed here by the Rangers. They just don't have enough veterans in this case. Got a grenade assault off here. Doing some light damage, but ultimately overwhelmed as well here. The Rangers just tearing into them. There we go. All of a sudden pushed away. That's for Anzio. Anzio? Yeah, I was there. Everybody but me died. Oh, yeah. Panthers still pumping down here. Got Folks goes up close with the Rangers. 30 kills. They're really just heavy toll there in Borgore. And I'm actually surprised here that Luciano never considered going for more than 1 Ranger squad. I mean, imagine the damage could have done with a few well-positioned flanks for 2 Ranger squads, maybe in hitting veteran 3. He could probably be doing a lot more than to Borgore. So I think that's a slightly sort of missed opportunity there, honestly, by Luciano. But the Panther there now engaged with the Pershing. We'll use the HVAC round here. Again, remember, it has good penetration and good damage. In fact, it does more damage than most normal shots there. But in this case, it does not pursue. Taking the center, taking the north. Noting, by the way, that Borgore lost his MG-34 permanently now, it seems. Borgore could be aiming here for another Panther. That would be bad. He's got more bazooka shots there as the Command Panther. Pershing moving up there. Will he HVAC this time around? Veterans one, but they got a Kedna for firing. Need to pull it back to Pershing. Oh dear. Smoke screen down there. Good move. He can actually HVAC through the smoke there against the Command Panther. But again, Luciano, not a huge fan of HVAC again, just forgetting it exists. But at least you smoke there to save his Command, or his Pershing there. Good move then. The South Lieutenant there with riflemen overwhelming a Fultz gun to the squad. Might be too much going on here for Borgore to save them in time. He's looking at another weapon, another veteran Fultz gun to the squad. Killed in service of the fatherland. And there we go. The casualties are piling up for Borgore now. As the game draws on, he might be getting a bit too extended here. And that's giving Luciano chances to get some good wipes in there. Though he needs to get that Pershing fixed up quickly. The longer it's out there, the better for Borgore. There you go, we got Veteran 3 Obersoldaten with Inflict Sturmgewehr. There we go, though, we got the 5th Caliber Veteran 2 there, Obersoldaten in a pretty bad position. He could pop up a blend cover, he might have a chance here. He doesn't, and that also means he's going to get wiped and retreat. A blend cover. Oh! Barely gets away, that's really close there, actually. Blend cover that would have been great for the other Obersoldaten squad following up, so they wouldn't have been suppressed. In this case, they pull it off, so that was pretty close. Very close engagement over Borgore. In this case, I think he rather got by more luck than anything, and the Pershing there still needs to get repaired. So he retreated all the reactions, then moved the Panther forwards. I think there's a bit of a miscommunication there between the two halves of Luciano's mind there. All of a sudden, they're being overwhelmed. We got the Command Panther moving in. We got another Panther on the way to Borgore, another one, and we got a Jackson for Luciano. Definitely a good choice for protection here versus Borgore. Definitely a good choice. And the fuel caches really, I think, are doing a lot there for Luciano. I mean, again, they're providing with the 6 extra fuel per minute, which can very quickly just add up to a lot in a longer game. So those, I think, are definitely a good investment there for Luciano, doing a lot there to keep him in the game and providing some more pressure there to his opponent. Quick grenade there, very long throw there. And Fultz Grenadiers rushed off. Panther doing what he can. 2nd Panther almost down there for Borgore, and the 106th Panther Brigade, Feldherrnhalle. Panther engaging head on. Got the Pershing moving up. Will this be the time he uses the HVAC round? Which, as a fun fact, by the way, was only handed out to tank destroyer crews because they did not have enough of them. So, I mean, you can imagine stealing it, maybe, bartering the way to it, but on paper, they were not supposed to have it. Obviously, again, on the actual battlefield, things were never quite according to paper, and that, of course, is also an important distinction to keep in mind, but, if we lose that Ranger squad, that's going to be a huge loss there for Luciano again. They've been really, I think, a linchpin infantry unit versus Borgore, and again, I'm surprised he has not gone for more than 1 Ranger squad here. I mean, the ranges are pretty good. It's just, again, the rifling thing's so great for ages. It's just most people have forgotten that the rest of the elite infantry is also pretty good, including the paratroopers, which, again, most people just consider to being bad because, again, veteran thief rifling just cost-wise more efficient. But there you go. Almost got the Panther. Command Panther forced to fall back. So right now, his armor's actually not too damaged. I think he has a good chance of not rushing the Schwer Panzer Corps, just knocking it out and seizing most of the map here. And that's definitely a chance Luciano should seize. And he should also begin mining the stuffing out of the map as well. We'll, of course, have to see if Luciano does this. If he doesn't, I mean, that's a definite failing on his part. Again, he should just try and play this advantage out as aggressively as possible, lay down mines, fighting positions, knock out the Schwer Panzer quarters, and just force Borgore to worry about a larger part of the map. And meanwhile, though, he's quickly rushing out orbital died in there to counterattack, just try and perhaps draw some attention away from his own territories towards Luciano's territories, which is definitely an idea here. I mean, that's one of the ways of defending your territory, forcing your opponent to act to, attack into his territory. And in this case, I think that's basically Borgore's chosen tactic. Again, offense is the best defense, basically. Though so far, Luciano's not taking the bait, but then again, Luciano isn't really doing a lot here. He's just being a bit passive. There's no, again, immediate reaction to a German incursion into the southern territories here by, say, the Persian, or anything, really. So in this regard, Luciano is really choosing to be passive at the absolute worst of times. Again, he should be pushing hard against Borgore. He should be doing damage. He should be seeking just to frustrate Borgore as much as possible. He should try and force him out of the base there with tanks not fully repaired. Instead, what Luciano is doing is allowing Borgore to have a nice, Wiener Schnitzel with sauerkraut and a nice white spear here, while again he's just achieving nothing. I mean, this is tactically and strategically not very sound play by Luciano. Again, I can understand why he might be feeling stressed out and he needs to, gather up his thoughts, but generally, in this case, in this particular situation, again, we just push back your opponent, you need to be able to quickly follow up. You need to just go in there like cavalry and brazenly burst through. And that's one. I mean, it's actually very historically accurate what Luciano is doing, though. It is very historically accurate what he's doing. But he's just, it's about doing nothing after made some gains or having a big battle. It's actually one thing the Germans, throughout the Normandy campaign, were quite surprised at. They'd be holding, a part of the front line with barely anyone. Maybe a guy named Ludwig and his, pet Schnauzer, and the Americans would just not burst through. In this case, Jackson got knocked out again. Passiveness here for Luciano, being quite harshly punished here by a swift counterattack then from Borgore once he's got himself into good condition. So right here, Luciano getting punished for, again, a historically accurate flaw for the Americans. I mean, again, you consider occasionally where they sort of look at aerial photos, and again, on one side, huge amounts of American supplies and everything, on the German side, again, you couldn't really see anything. And again, they wouldn't attack. Panther being pulled back. Persian moving ahead here, close to veteran fleet. Another Jackson there for Luciano. Borgore here is in a much stronger position now versus Luciano. Again, Luciano there really sort of bungled up there. Now again, he has to attack into two Panthers in a good condition. He's lacking the Jackson. I'll deal with it because, again, I mean, he was basically having it too close to the front line. Again, where he could get ambushed. And overall, so note we have Borgore used to getting flanked here with a Kednef, and on top of that, quick medical supplies to the front line to just heal up there so he doesn't have to retreat. Nice move there by Borgore. Nice move there. Orbis line heading for the north. I mean, one thing that Borgore could try and do better, of course, would be to try and use booby traps, though. But there you go. Another M36 Jackson out here for Luciano and the first armor.
A capture point is being overrun.
Another one.
Armor ready.
Ooh, nice hit there on the orbital dart, close to veteran on the Persian. Got a third Panther on the way there for Borgore. A third Panther. It's not very often you see that many Panthers in an engagement, to be honest. But there you go, 3 Panthers. Grenades going off there, still an 8-trap round to get a lot of bazooka fire here. Jackson trying to flank here, the Panther trying to save a safe distance. Good move there. Got a fire there, there we go, penetrating hit there. Still should use the 8-trap round. Luciano, the 8-trap round. Hell, he could have used combined arms for the Rearsions and the Persian to increase its rate of fire. Instead, he now ends up losing the Rearsions and the Persian. Ah, Luciano. Use your abilities. Try and, create bigger elements, synergies, if you will,
The enemy is overrunning one of
Now
our capture points.
he's up against two Panthers. Again, one of them a Command Panther. And he's just lost his Pershing.
Ready for action.
And you can see now that the The chickens are coming home to roost here for Luciano. They're really coming home to roost. And Borgore, I think now is in a very strong position here. This is Luciano. Rangers there being torn apart by the Command Panther, and the Panther got also loading up there. Eventually 525 kills. Still Pioneers trying to make it to medikits, but they don't make it. So we got a third Panther running in the battlefield here. And Luciano there must be feeling a certain chill down his spine, as of course realizes he's up against 3 Panthers. From the Oberkommando West granted though, 3 Panthers from either the Wehrmacht or the Oberkommando West is pretty much terrifying. That's pretty much the point you sort of usually go, I've done goofed, because by Jove, did you goof. But there goes bringing the Jackson there. And he gets the Command Panther. He gets it. Small bit of relief here though for Luciano. He needs to still get it, but there you go. Jackson going to flank apart. We got the Reason supporting. Remind here to cover the flanks, so we got more Reasons here. Jackson moving up there. Flanks the other. Oh, he got HVAP again, remember. HVAP's also got in the Jackson. It increased the damage. First shot. There we go. Good work. It's moving in. They should have kept the Reason close to the Jackson. Instead, he isolated them. Luciano, tactics. Jackson down. What a miss there. Again, had they been close, they probably could have gone at least one more of the Panthers. Instead, he isolated the Jackson, allowing Borgore to quickly focus it down. This tactically, that was a poor move there by Luciano. That was a poor move there. Still, he got 1 Panther. But the problem is, again, Borgore has got 2 more. And now Luciano's got nothing more to deal with them. Getting on the mine there. In the south, we got 50 cover there versus Obersoldaten. We got a 3rd squad of them on the way. Versions there being pushed back by Panthers and Obersoldaten. A lot of highly veteran infantry supporting Panthers here. Very strong tactical formation there for Borgore. Very strong. Also expensive, but strong. Quick grenade here. Nice throw there by Borgore's Obersoldaten. Need to retreat the Obersoldaten soon, and they're being swarmed here by Luciano's men as they desperately fracture the southern fuel point victory points, whilst they also need to put something in there. There you go, quick split restraints and veteran 3 Rangers, but there you go, cover crumbling under fire from one of the Panthers. Still Rangers far from doing a lot of damage. You're going to go grenade here, pushing them away. Panthers there turning in. Need to be careful. Luciano, need to be careful here. I think he might actually be aiming for a second person, which at this point is very ambitious, because Borgore is more likely to end up with another Panther, to be honest. There you go, the good volley then the Panther doing a lot of damage as it's exposed tree in the and there you go. Half-health left is moving up, taking fire from the Stone Pioneers. Oberson moving in. Base will still continue. They want that Panther. They could get another wipe there, or kill. There they go, close range. The Panther is unable to escape here. Like rapid hunters, the Riesans going in after the wounded beast, the Panther. They're not shooting at the right one. He might not be able to salvage the Panther. He might be able to get away with it. He was so close. So close. And there he goes, suppressed. The Panther makes it. Another tactical mishap there for Luciano, and leaving another bazooka behind for Borgore to seize. Pretty bad there for Luciano. Pretty bad. We turn here under fire, seizing the bazooka. We got the Panther quickly going in. Half H to the again, Luciano in this point is clearly aiming for the Pershing. He's very clearly aiming for it, but I don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest, at this point. Meanwhile, the Panther's just making very short work of all of Luciano's front line units here. The 50 cover there being absolutely shredded here by the machine gun fire of the Panther. Going for the southern victory point. Borgore's got his eye on the ball here.
We're down to 50.
And we got Orbison then laying down suppressor 5 with the inflex German gears, and the Raptor just in a terrible condition. "37 kills there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our
Rather than
capture
Rangers in
points.
Southwards. Panther taking a few hits there. Rangers rather than sending out. Two Orbison squads with Rangers, but again they are the veteran few there. 42 kills actually. Again, they've been able to do a lot of damage there to Borgore again. I'm very much surprised Luciano only went for one Ranger squad here in the early game. Again, he'd gone for 2 again. I think he could have just overall done a lot more to Borgore. But there you go, out in the open now. Orbison there have the upper hand. And like, oh, never mind, grenade off. He doesn't move. Oh, no. We got a smoke screen here in the centre as he tries to push forward, but it's too late. It's too late. The Panthers are just too much here for Luciano to deal with. Just too much. Very close to victory for you there.
We're down to 10 points.
Rather than moving ahead here and straight into the Panthers. Again, a lot of machine guns there, a lot of damage. Lieutenant charging forwards here. And again, just so much Panther fire here. So much. Trying to crush as well. There you go. 27 kills, 11 kills. Lieutenant units being shredded. Got 4.7. This Luciano surrenders, realising all is lost here. A heavy, slower fight there. Slower fight between two opponents here. Luciano initially starting out well there, but rather sort of staggered as things progressed here. Not enough flanking, or just relied too much in head-on assaults, and that really was something Borgore was able to nicely counter with a machine gun. Also good mining there. Whereas again, Luciano, despite having gone for doctrine that like mines, barely utilised them. Also didn't go for any BRs in that regard. Luciano, rather failed to push for any advantage he could have, and I think that's one of the issues. Luciano just every time he could did this fight. He could have gone for more Rangers, didn't. He could have gone for BRs from the Riflemen, didn't. He could have pushed there after he pushed back the Panthers at the Pershing and Jackson, he didn't. Instead, he just left them there at the front line, which, by the way, is not where you want them, because again, it allows your opponent to just pinpoint them and take that, one devastating hit like you saw with the Jackson. He just targeted and knocked it out because Luciano, for whatever reason, decided it was great to use a unit with long range as close to the front line as possible, whereas, running a bit behind, again, could sort of get more of an element of surprise in. So, in that regard, Luciano just was undone by a repeated series of tactical mishaps. Strategically, he was kind of alright there, but tactically, it just sort of kept sabotaging himself as Borgore. I think Earl did quite well. Managed to bring up several Panthers, made good use of Orbison. He also made good use of abilities. Again, Luciano didn't. No HVAC rounds of the Pershing, no combined arms, and again, no real money in there. So there's a lot there I think Luciano can do to improve. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Rather what I couldn't find there after a long day, because they basically just wiped the entire replay archive after a hot fix. So I rather had to search, and I think that was the closest something that resembled something remotely satisfactory for me. At least because, hey, Panthers, we rarely get to see that many. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, subscribe, like, share, and comment on it. And this is Imperial signing off, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Cheers.